Hello everyone, Hero 310 here, back with another video, another superhero type video. This is a thought that just came to my mind. Homelander is easily a Homelander is easily like he's one of the more famous evil Superman or the Superman, knockoffs you call it, right? If s- but he's far weaker than Superman, both in the comics and in the show. And like like so TV home live action Homelander is weaker than all the live action versions of Superman. He's not stronger than even one of them. And comic version of Homelander is weaker than comic version of Superman. So that got me wondering, right? I watch Danko quite a lot. Danko often refers to Homelander as a big fish in a small pond. And I have to agree with him. The boys' universe is a very small pond as it in terms of all the movie verses and TV verses out there, the boys universe is actually one of the weaker is actually one of the, the weaker verses. Even though though they do have their own they have their own really like powerful and really cool people. See Queen Maeve being able to jump in front of a speeding armored truck and smash it to bits, and Homelander is stronger than her. See Soldier Boy being immune to just about any conventional weaponry from the Soviet Union, and eventually, which will become Russia, uh, become the Russian Federation. So the weapons of a superpower couldn't hurt him. They even made him swallow a radioactive core, and Soldier Boy absorbed that, gaining a new level of power. Why are you talking about this, Hero 310? You might ask. Well, simple. Because Homelander is leagues above them all. Like Homelander was beating up Butcher and Soldier Boy. And Homelander stated that Soldier Boy was the only one nearly as strong as he was. And even still, Homelander was beating both Butcher and Soldier Boy down. Homelander was just boxing him. He got hit by Maeve. Maeve drew blood from him. But okay, Maeve is like the modern day Soldier Boy. But even then, once Homelander got serious, he put Maeve down. Yeah, she stabbed him with a metal straw. Whatever, bad writing. We'll move past that. Okay, now Vision, the character that everybody dunks on. Vision is made entirely of vibranium. How do you know this? Well, because the vibranium atoms fused with his cells. Cells make up everything about a living organism. So anything you saw vibranium go through and survive, Vision can go through and survive. High caliber machine guns from military grade, attack choppers and vehicles, explosions. The vibranium core that survived the explosion of a large part of Sokovia, so that's like half of a city. And the pillar was unharmed. The pillar was unarmed. The pillar was unharmed. So you could easily say, well, shoot, not a scratch on it. The entire city could have exploded and the pillar would have been fine. That means Vision at bare minimum is as strong as city level durability. His strength is actually pretty impressive. We never really see his full strength, but Vision was able. Actually, the only time we really see Vision going all out is when he's fighting himself. So, like, main character energy right there. But Vision Iron Man in Civil War, we saw Vision easily stumble and briefly, put a pause on Giant Man. Like he knocked Giant Man. Giant Man fell into the plane and was kind of like hunched over and down for a bit. This was Vision holding back. It was pretty clear that Vision was holding back throughout that entire fight, right? We saw later in that fight that Iron Man and War Machine had to team up to knock out Giant Man, and he wasn't even totally knocked out after that. And they only really did that because Tone, not Tone, yeah, Spider Man was able to like completely wrap his legs, so which kind of like immobilized him. So it really was like a three-person effort, but Spider-Man didn't help with he didn't help with knocking out Giant Man, so we're not gonna count that. And Vision, while holding back, was easily able to do that. So the only reason people think Vision is weak is because the Russo brothers, they didn't like powerful characters. They didn't like they had terrible stuff to say about Captain Marvel. They said the Justice League wasn't relatable and like, come on, Batman's in the league, Superman. I mean, it's just, and I'm a Batman hater, so yeah, hate him. Whatever. We're not gonna get into that. So all these characters are unbelievably powerful. So if you gave Homelander's Vision's power, would he be able to take on DCEU Superman? Not DCU Superman because he's not beatless, but we're not going to count him right now. But if you want to know the answer to that, then yes, uh, Homelander Vision Fusion could easily beat DC. Well, not easily, but could pretty handily beat DCU Superman. Um, if I had to get, and here's the rules, right? We are adding everything. So this won't be Mind Stone Vision. This will not be Mind Stone Vision. This is going to be White Vision from WandaVision. We're gonna take his beam attack and add that to Homelander's his heat vision. So his heat vision has the intensity of hit. So basically, we're adding taking his beam attack away. Homelander won't be shooting the beam from his forehead. It'll just take the power of his beam attack and add it to the power of his heat vision. So, and we'll even give him both colors. So it'll be blue and red heat vision from now on. Homelander will have phasing. He will have density manipulation. That's pretty much the only new power he gets. And then we'll take all of Vision's physical power, strength, durability, speed, and we'll add that to Homelander. Now, DCU Superman has him outclassed in speed. Absolutely. Totally, absolutely. But and most likely even in strength. We don't know how strong Vision truly is. Well, actually, no, yeah, we do. Vision was actually in a deleted scene. He's deleted, so it might not be canon. But no, it is canon. In What If, we saw that Ultron with Vision's body was able to defeat all of the OG Avengers. That means he beat Thor and he beat Hulk. If What If is canon, okay, Vision is constantly holding back. And we never saw him go all out in the movies. And it was actually stated by Steve Rogers that if Ultron is building a new body, it's stronger than any of them or all of them. It's not stronger than all of them. I do think that What If version beat them in 1v1 like combat. It didn't actually just boss up and take out everybody. But being stronger than Thor who survived the heat of the dwarf of a neutron star, Thor who moved the giant rings of Nidavellir, however you say it. Uh, I mean, Thor who has strength. Well, no, that's more a Stormbreaker feat. I'm not gonna count that. Okay, Vision being stronger than that Thor. Ooh, ooh, and again, we know this because of What If. That means the only area that DCU Superman has this, Homelander fusion, the only area he Superman has him beat is speed. And that's purely because Vision oh yeah, well because Vision doesn't really MCU is not really there's very few speedsters in the MCU. Only like Captain Marvel and Sentry are one, but they're very, very, very fast, but that's about it. But this Homelander fusion has every other advantage: strength, durability, versatility. This Homelander has access to phasing. So there's nothing that DCEU Superman can really do to him. Sure, they can blitz him, but that won't work for too long. This Homelander fusion is just entirely too stacked. This is Hero 13. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for all the stuttering. I am sleep deprived, and I will see you later.